On today's show, black rhinos are going to get cameras installed in their horns. We'll tell you why. And a really cool installation from Forever 21.
And flying cars. Oh, no.
Time for the Jetsons. Now it's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm Ashley Scala. Join me as always, Khail Anonymous.
Pixels hype.
Pixels hype. There is a lot of Pixels unhype.
If you have not seen the movie Pixels getting destroyed by every reviewer and every site, contrary to what I said yesterday, which there were no reviews out, apparently not worth it.
I'll give it a chance.
Not worth making a video movie about old games.
Yeah, that embargo dropped today,
I take back everything I said yesterday. just everything.
This is Khail taking it all back.
Yesterday's episode will be deleted from the records.
We'll expunge that from your permanent record, Khail.
But we got cool stuff.
We do. Let's hit the headlines.
Oh boy, I mean, people on CNET love them some car tech, rightfully so.
That's very true.
We're in these things all day and night.
Yeah.
Well, now we have an update on flying cars.
Finally.
Oh, when are we gonna get those?
It's about time.
So a company called Terrafugia, we had to look that up.
Yeah, thank you for that pronunciation guide on your website, Terrafugia.
Announced a while back that in 8 to 12 years, we were gonna have flying cars. And sure enough, they're sticking with that actual number. And they've updated us with a brand new car, like a new concept for what it's going to look like.
Ooh, okay.
And it looks crazy.
It
doesn't look like a car at all.
A spectacular looking vehicle.
Yeah, so the one that was previously announced 2 years ago was the TFX.
TFX.
Okay? Right. And so this new one, this is the new design for the TFX.
So they've just updated what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
I like that.
So here's some stats about this car.
Tell me a little bit.
It's a hybrid electric. It carries 4 people, so that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's street legal apparently. I mean, let's see it actually exist first.
Yeah.
And it's easy to fly. It says it will take about 5 hours to learn how to fly it.
Look at this video. It's going to have like helicopter blades, propeller. This is insane.
Yeah, now let's keep in mind, you'll notice that this isn't a real thing visually. It's just a CG thing. That's because it's just a design and not a fully functioning production car yet. They're going to test it out. They're going to test an actual thing, but it's going to be a 1/10 scale, and they're going to test that out.
It's like the size of a large dog.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So the delivery was supposed to be this year or next with a price of $280,000. But guess what? Guess what? Nope. It's apparently going to be a couple more years. And it's going to be about $400,000 instead of, so double the price.
Keep saving then. It'll even give you more time to save up your money, of course. I mean, right now, if you have $280,000, maybe you can save up an extra $120,000 just, to buy this thing.
So, I mean, okay, so we can now, since this is kind of a discussion show, talk about the pros and cons of this.
It's an awesome flying car.
No, I was just not going to say anything.
Oh, nothing. You don't think this is good at all?
I don't trust people driving cars, let alone the fact that there's going to be drones in the air as well.
That's true. That is true.
Look, I'm a big fan of Futurama, but it's sky traffic.
Not so much.
Just all that stuff. 5 hours to learn how to fly it.
Okay, so that like if they give you lessons or something, I'm sure, like something like that.
I don't know. I guess
5 hours to learn how to fly seems awfully low, considering that commercial airline pilots spend years like racking up enough hours to be able to fly larger planes. But I suppose you're only carrying like a single engine plane. You carry a few people in it, like not.
The issue is that the reason for flying is to make it so you can just go straight from point A to point B.
But where do you land?
Instead of having to, well, hold on. Instead of having to like veer and go around mountains and stuff like that, you go from point A to point B. And the issue there is going to be that other people are going from point A to point B without any specific pathway, meaning you're going to have to avoid people going all different directions, and which means it should self-fly so that it can coordinate. But then there's a whole different technology of people having to get there, and that's why we have air traffic controllers. But now we're not going to have that for that. So there is going to be crashes. There's already problems that haven't been solved here. So I would like for some solutions before it comes out in a few years.
That does seem like a good solutions before.
I'm glad you can make a flying car, but let's tackle some other issues on that one.
I mean, where we're going, we don't need roads. That's true. Doc Brown is right. But we do need some control there. There needs to be some sort of system in place as opposed to just everybody flying around willy-nilly like, hey, look at me, I'm flying a car, and then crashing into somebody else. Okay, so let's talk about hashtag of the day, which is TD Fly Car. And okay, I thought I didn't want to ask you guys like where you'd go or what you'd do. I wanted something more fun. So let's say you get one of these cars and you have to gift it to anybody in the world. You have to give this car away. Who would you give it to and why? And you feel free to get creative on this. Like, who would you give it to? It doesn't have to be like your mom. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm sure we'd all like to give flying cars to like our favorite relative or whatever. But like, get creative. Who would you give a flying car to?
I like Elon Musk.
Just to tinker with?
I'd give it to somebody who could go out there and be doing good in a lot of different places. So like my first one was Elon Musk because I feel like he can go and bring science to other parts of the country or whatever. Or, you know, I was going to say the president so he would stop using that jet and using so much fuel for pollution. But that sounded like a boring answer to give it to the president. Anyway, what do you got?
I think I would give it to, well, I thought a lot about this and I think I would give it to somebody who doesn't have a lot of money but needs to travel. So I was thinking maybe like I would donate it to a school.
To Logan.
Or to Logan, yeah. Well, producer Logan, obviously my number one choice, and yours too. But
yeah,
second choice, I mean, nepotism, you guys. We don't want to just give something away to somebody we know. I would probably donate it to like a college to help students go like study, like go abroad and then come back, like so that they could like fly there really quickly, like see things and study a place and then fly back.
But the thing with your question is you only get to pick one person.
If it's only one person, then I'd give it to the president of a university who could use that car.
Okay.
That's what I would do. And then be like, you should please use this for your university. Like donate it to the university.
All right.
So that's what I would do. I'd give it to some university to like send their students places where they maybe couldn't go otherwise.
Okay.
Seems pretty good.
So to modify the question then, like, is it like, where would you give it to?
Yeah. You can give it to a company or a place or a school or, you know, whatever. Just you have to give it. Okay.
Make a Wish Foundation.
Perfect. But you have to give it away. You can't keep it for yourself. That's all. And please don't give it to us. Don't suck up, guys. That's gross.
Suck up.
All right. Let's talk about the close screen. This is kind of weird and also fun. This is really fun. So there is this installation that is going to be happening in New York, or is happening right now. I think they unveiled it this morning. This is from Breakfast New York, their design company that worked with Forever 21 to make this screen. But that's actually not a screen. That's not an 80 by 80 pixel screen. That is a whole bunch of threads of spooled thread. That's fabric making those images, which is really crazy. So again, this is an 80 by 80 pixel image or screen, but they're actually spools of thread. So here they are working on it. And the whole thing uses 6,400 spools of thread. And the thread is almost 7 miles long. Like that's the total amount of the thread used. It's 11 feet tall, 9 feet wide. It weighs a ton. It will only be up for a week. And what happens is how it works is you literally upload your picture, and you can do this right now. This is crazy. You can post a picture to Instagram and you tag it with the hashtag F21threadscreen. And then there is f21threadscreen.com, which will then put your picture up on this crazy screen of thread, which is kind of nuts. And so you'll put like this, so that's somebody's Instagram photo that they just put up with thread. It's not any kind of electronics on the screen part of it. Of course, there's a lot behind that, and they had to work really hard to figure this out. It took 18 months to put this together. It took about 6 to 7 months to build, and then another about year to fine tune it and make it better and keep going. And they made a great video on how it works and the behind the scenes and stuff if you're interested. But if you go to that f21threadscreen.com, you can watch a live video stream of the actual of the installation, and you can watch it changing all the time. And if your picture gets put up on Threadscreen, I should say, you can go to f21threadscreen.com/@ and then your username, and it'll have a little quick video of like it playing, which is kind of awesome.
It still didn't really explain how the thread switches out so quickly.
So it's like a loom. It's about 3 feet in depth, so it doesn't actually go that far back. I was surprised by that. I thought it would be this big like cube in the back that had this whole thing going on, but it almost works like a loom. So it runs different color thread through and then basically switches them out as it needs. So it's like if you have something that is, let's say you have a blue image that's up first and then it needs to go to red, well, all of the spools have different color thread going all the way through the line. So they go through it and then they basically roll up, see, they have like different colors that go through it. So they're able to change the colors very quickly per spool. So it's not like they're not all interconnected. As far as I'm aware, from what I understand, like they're not all interconnected. Each spool has its own like roll of color.
God, that sounds like it could just break so easily.
I mean, there's some, like when you look at the actual video of it, like you can see some of them like maybe have a little glitches or get like dead pixels, if you will. Like it's sort of like that, but super interesting stuff. And I just thought it was awesome. It'll be up for a week. It's only up for a week. So if you want to go check this out, I suggest you do it quickly.
That's some crazy cool ideas.
If you're in New York.
18 months to make it though seems a bit intense.
Seems like a really long time. Okay, so speaking of cool ideas, this is awesome. Black rhinos, not to be a downer, but black rhinos are super endangered and they get poached a lot for their horns. And they get killed and left out in the middle of nowhere, and then their horns just get cut off. It's really sad. Apparently the statistic is a rhino gets killed every 6 hours in Africa, which is far too much, if at all. I mean, they just shouldn't be being killed. So this UK-based nonprofit has made this system called Rapid that they're hoping will stop, at least deter poachers, or stop them, or at least enable them to help catch them or prosecute them. So Rapid is short for Real-Time Anti-Poaching Intelligence Device, and it consists of 3 parts. There's a GPS collar for the rhino, a heart rate monitor that goes under their skin, which is very thick, and a camera that's placed directly in a rhino's horn. So when the rhino's heart rate goes up, so for example, if it gets shot by a poacher, the camera flips on and it can see what's happening. So, and an alarm goes off, and that gives anti-poaching teams immediate response ability. They can jump into a helicopter or jeep and get to that rhino as quickly as possible to help thwart a poacher from killing the rhino, which is pretty amazing. And the horns, a lot of people were wondering about, oh, well, doesn't this hurt the rhino to like put this camera into their horn? Well, no, actually, horns on rhinos are made from a material that's really similar to human fingernails. So it doesn't hurt when you, so if you file your nail down, like it doesn't hurt you. It's the same thing with a rhino's horn. You can actually like drill a hole in it and they place the little camera inside, and then that's how it's set up. So cool. Pretty amazing. And they actually want to expand the technology. It's not just for rhinos. They're saying they're developing a way to use this for elephants because they're hunted for their ivory, for their tusks, and then tigers, which are obviously endangered and hunted for their pelts. So really fascinating stuff happening. And I mean, this is like a great way for me, like conservation, like this is a great way to do it.
Have they caught anybody?
Well, they just started, so I don't know if they've caught it. I don't think they've caught anybody yet, but they are basically, this is now rolling out, so we'll see if this actually deters it. I think I had read a statistic saying like, it was like either, I think it was 2007, there were it was under 100 rhinos that had been poached, and then like last year, or maybe the year before, it was like 1,200. So it's just so many, and like it's really just out of control at this point, and really, I mean, these anti-poaching teams, like they can try to do as much as they can to get to these rhinos in time, but a lot of time, like, you just don't know what's happening, and so you just find them, and they've already been killed, and their horns are gone, and it's just really sad. So hopefully these anti-poaching teams will be able to actually know, like, where they need to go and when, as opposed to just, having these sort of roaming patrols that make it very easy for poachers to kind of get around and escape without being noticed. So fingers crossed, poachers on notice. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Mod Squad, maybe one of my favorites and that we've ever done. And, of course, your user feedback and our phone togger for the day. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. Welcome back to the show. We've returned. It's a Wednesday, which means we like to do a little spotlighting on the internet community of people who like to make stuff. So this is Mod Squad. We love Mario Kart. Is that, I mean, that's kind of a universal yes.
Yeah.
Right.
You consider yourself a professional?
Not quite, but I'm good at it.
Okay.
I'm good at it. Not quite pro.
Modest.
Not quite pro, but I can race. I can race. So let's talk about how this guy loves Mario Kart maybe more than anybody. Geeksmithing.com is run by this guy who has done a lot of really great mods, and he found out I guess a couple years ago now that he was having another baby, and so decided to like make his nursery Mario Kart themed, Mario Kart 8 themed, I should say. So here is this guy's finished product, which he showed off. It was on, I saw it on Reddit originally, and then it's like I think it's been all over the internet this week. He painted all this stuff using a grid system, so like putting something down and then, you know, drawing all of the grid and then painting it in square by square. Made it look like the actual track was coming into the room and then back into the walls. So he did a bunch of really cool stuff. So here's the mobile.
Oh, that's adorable.
Which is amazing. You got Lactu there, and then it's he made all of his friends and family go to McDonald's and get the Happy Meals with the Mario Kart toys and then send them to him.
Cool.
So that he could have a Mario Kart mobile, which is really awesome. I love how some of them are upside down. Like, that's awesome. They're all like really, really fun. And then they got, you know, Luigi. He said right when he was starting this, I think he was thinking about doing a Luigi death stare, but didn't want to scare his kids. So he's like, I skipped that. It was fine. But here's where it gets really cool. So you see the track coming down and around. It swoops up. It goes up high. You got Yoshi on a motorcycle. And then on the ceiling, the road comes out of the wall. And here it is. Boom.
Oh, wow.
There's a full-sized Mario Kart right there on the ceiling, hanging upside down. It is and all of those wheels were made with, I think, epoxy. This guy really went all out. He said that the checkerboard grass he got at Michael's was like really expensive to lay on the ceiling to make it look like it was part of the track. And he put in LED lighting and all of that. It's like a full-on light fixture, the Mario. He said he made the cap out of something, it's a system he never tried before. He bought decals. Like, he had decals made because he's like, I tried really hard to paint it, but it just didn't look right, so I ended up getting some decals custom cut. Like, all this stuff. I mean, this guy really went all out. So impressive.
Incredible, yeah.
So impressive.
That's so cool. I wonder
dedication.
How much it cost.
I don't even want to know. Ballpark.
How many coins? How many gold coins?
So many gold coins, Kale.
Wow,
so many gold coins.
He sculpted it?
Yeah, he straight up sculpted this. Like, this guy, and then the hat is separate. Like, he made the hat separate so you could take it off, and it's set by magnet. Like, you can just take the hat off and on, which is kind of... This guy is brilliant.
Yeah.
So, well done.
How long is the actual video? Like, how much does he go
I think it's like
it?
12 minutes. It's like a pretty long, in-depth video. And then he also has an album on Imager of like all of the different steps that he did. And he actually has instructions for like just about everything, all the materials that he used. Geeksmithing.com is this guy's website if you want to go check out like all the details. It is a super detailed post, and he's got just every bit of information you could possibly imagine in there. It's really, really impressive.
Cool.
So, great work.
Very
okay.
cool.
We got to talk about you guys. We asked you what kind of robots you'd want to pilot, so let's hit user feedback. All right, so hashtag TDBotPilot or TDRoboPilot if you were watching on Twitter, because I accidentally mixed them up in my brain and wrote robo instead of bot. That was my bad. But, you know, I checked both, so it's all good? Is it all good?
Yep.
All right.
You made up for it.
I did. Okay.
Let's hear about those robots.
Let's hear what you want to pilot. Will wrote in and said, Matrix Revolutions mech suits and do some target practice for science reasons.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one. That was a good one.
Oh, man.
I almost forgot about those.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about those. Oliver wrote in and said, Iron Man, so I could take over Tony Stark Inc. and buy a baseball jumbo-sized screen to play Portal and watch YouTube and Tomorrow Daily.
Wait. That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff, but I like it.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't think of the Iron Man suit.
I like the idea of playing Portal in a robot costume. Like, if you play as Atlas. Like, that would be...
an Atlas suit?
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
That'd be super meta.
Be really intense, yeah. And then Gail wrote in and said, Bender. And then I put in a delightful Bender quote.
That you can't say?
Yeah, it's a family show, you know, guys.
But my shiny metal butt.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, yeah.
So he wrote in and wrote that.
And then you could just drink alcohol, and that's how you fuel the suit.
That's how you fuel the suit. Yeah, exactly. But it's really good answers, and now, of course, it's time for our very last piece of user feedback, which is always our photographer of the day. All right, so Thomas wrote in. And he said, I took this picture on my Moto G 2014 of a heart-shaped lake on Tonalog, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Tonalagi Mountain, Wicklow Mountains, Ireland. So this is in Ireland, and that is a heart-shaped lake. Look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
A heart-shaped lake. Oh, I feel so loved.
However, Thomas, it's very aggravating to show this to people in Los Angeles as we are in a water shortage.
We have no water. Send us that lake immediately.
Very beautiful.
I'm going to make a heart-shaped lake out of like 3 drops of water in a little petri dish. That's about all. It's about all the water we have.
I want to know how far civilization was away from that.
Yeah, I wonder about that. A lot of times we see pictures from like Ireland because everything there seems so green, but it also seems so far away from anything. You know, it's like, oh, maybe there's like a farm like a couple miles down there. Like houses are like miles apart. Which strikes me as so strange because it's just something we're not used to.
Or it could just be a McDonald's. It's like right
behind it. Yeah, I like that idea. It just like turns around. There's a whole strip mall there. It's amazing. But really good picture. Super, especially on a Moto G. Like that's not necessarily known for its camera, so that was a great shot.
Yeah.
I think it was really good.
Maybe it's really good at outdoors stuff.
Yeah. If you guys want to send in your photography, email us tomorrow at cnet.com. We may ask you to verify that you took the picture and that you're giving us permission to show it on the show. But if you want to find us on social media to talk to us, you can. You can find us on Tomorrow Daily at Twitter. But really, if you want to hang out with us, you got to come to our personal accounts.
Which is?
I'm at Ashley Esqueda.
And I'm at Khail Anonymous.
It's pretty easy. If you want to send somebody to the show, send them to tomorrowdaily.com. It's that easy. I promise you. And that's it for the show today. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new docket of weird science fact and science fiction crashing together, blood up in your face, being all sorts of awesome. But until then, be good humans. See you guys next time. Bye.